And a cracking day to be alive today. I'm going to give you a preview of round 10 of the World Team Global Challenge, starting on Monday, the 1st of December, right through to the 31st of December. But quickly, let's do a recap because we're still in round 9 at the moment, all of November, and we've got some cracking players out there doing really well on the World Team Global Challenge leaderboard. So each month, 10 of the world's healthiest habits. We change them up each month. And this month, we've got Darren Wilcock at the top of the leaderboard. So Darren is up in Toowoomba in Queensland, Australia, and 30 odd years as a military veteran. He was served in both the UK and the Australian Army, and he's out of that now, and he's absolutely using that same discipline around healthy habits. It's fantastic to see, Darren. Well done. And also big congratulations to Rob Nagaman, new father, and also up the top of the leaderboard. So if anybody says they don't have time to do this stuff, here's a man who is incredibly busy and doing it with new baby on board. And Jihad Rashid. Jihad Arash is a fantastic competitor and member of World Team. He's also runs a significant business. He's flat out all the time doing that work and nails his healthy habits. So there really isn't any excuse. 3 at the top of the leaderboard, absolute epitome of what it is to invest in your health and well-being. But we're live at the moment, and I want to give you a rundown of 10 of the world's healthiest habits for round 10, 10 for 10, going through to the end of this year. First up, and there's 3 really base habits that we want to be trying to do every single day. First one is to get up and move first thing in the morning. So within 15 minutes of waking, get up, get outside, or get up and do some form of exercise or activity. We want to get the body moving. It's really important to start the day by stimulating the metabolism through some form of exercise or movement. Second behavior is to move outdoors, and there's a lot of science behind this. When we get exposed to natural light outdoors, it stimulates some little photoreceptors in the base of our eyes or retinas, and that helps to establish in our body the circadian clock that says, right, we're ready for action. If you get up and get outside first thing in the morning, if it's overcast, maybe 10 minutes. If it's a nice and bright sunny day, maybe a little bit less. But ultimately, we want to be getting up, getting outside, and moving first thing in the morning. So next behavior, one of the 3 critical ones, is to move for 40 minutes every day. Not all at once necessarily, but minimum of 40 minutes a day. The regulations in Australia here set by the RACGP say 40 minutes minimum of moderate or higher intensity exercise every day. And that's what we should be aiming for. So you can put those 3 behaviors together, those 3 healthy habits, a cracking way to start your day. Get up, put your shoes on or whatever, get outside and get moving for 40 minutes first up if you can. If you can't spare 40 minutes, then spread it over your day and job done. Minimum 40 minutes a day. Fourth exercise is to invest in community. World Team Community is all about growing a global network of people who focus on their health and well-being so that we normalize the behavior of the people we hang around with. And what we know about that is that if we hang around with people who look upon healthy habits as being just the norm, then we're more likely to follow those. It's a lot easier to be able to do that. Every Monday here in Australia, but it's it's Sunday night in the US, Monday morning in the UK, we run a check-in Zoom session. And that's a great opportunity for people to dive in, learn a little bit more about what we do, and engage with some of the stuff that we're doing and ask questions, interact with each other, and learn from each other around healthy behaviors and habits and what we're all trying. So they're the first 4 critical habits for this month coming up. Now, we want to get strength training embedded into everything we do. It's a critical part of living a long and healthy life. And the earlier you start, the bigger the base you build, and the more you are likely to stave off some of the decline that can occur called sarcopenia as we age. So really simple start. We want to be doing some push-ups this month. Push-ups, doesn't matter how many you do. Ultimately, with strength training, we want to be doing heavy work or difficult work or hard work. And we don't need to be doing a lot of it. So sort of 6 repetition maximum for really strength-based work. But while we're getting started, just do as many push-ups as you can. If you can't do them on a flat surface, then try it with your knees down. If you're struggling with your knees down or you can't put your knees down, then go up onto a higher surface like a bench and just do your push-ups there. Really, what we're trying to do here is get moving with strength-based activities, and push-ups are great. You can do them anywhere at any time. Next one is some abdominal exercises, and we've got those in the program as ab attack. So we want to be working our abdominals. This is really important for us at every age, really, because we want to be establishing a nice solid core. We want to be able to use that to help us with our balance, help us with our posture and stability. So having strong abdominal muscles is really, really valuable for us as we age as well. So jump into that, the abdominal attack exercises. There's 2 in there. Nail them each and every day. When we move on from strength, so that's just a taster for strength stuff. If you go to a gym, then you'll find exercises or activities that will trigger those same muscle groups. That's fine to use those. When we go into stretching, we want to really build some flexibility as we age. Some of the challenges that we have is that our bodies don't go through the full range of motion. We end up tearing joints, we tear connective tissues, we tear ligaments, we tear muscles primarily. And so we want to be able to move our muscles in a wider range, move our joints, our limbs as much as we can. So some of the exercises that we're going to do are focused on that. And some over time will be focused on just stretching the muscle fibers out so that we may relieve some of the stress that we experience. So the 2 that we have for you this month is the hamstring stretch. You'll have seen this one if you've played any sport at all. Legs straight, bending forward, touching toes or touching knees, touching thighs or touching ankles, whatever works for you. We want to be doing that gently. We're not bouncing here, just gently down. And we want to stretch the back of the legs. That's where we're going for the hamstring region. So take your time, gently does it, and try and hold a stretch for 40 seconds. And if you're breathing in, when you breathe out, just lengthen a little bit further. Breathe in, lengthen a little bit further. As we breathe out, we relax a bit more, which can be helpful. So focus on the hamstrings. And the next one is an area that often is completely overlooked, particularly in runners, but cyclists as well, which is the gluteal muscles, which are the muscles on our bum or our backside, lower back. And the exercises there really involve stretching the knee across this side of the body, where we stretch the right gluteal, or of course the other side, and pushing the knee up towards our right shoulder. And we should feel that stretch around the base of our spine, around that gluteal muscle. If you get lower back pain because you're sitting at a desk quite often, this is a cracker of an activity to do. And in a fairly short period of time in doing this, if you do it daily, you'll start to experience likely some less pressure in the lower back, which is really good. And if you do running, if you're doing any sort of walking and you find yourself getting tight in that lower back, dive for this stretch straight away. Loosen the glutes. It's a fantastic way. As alternatives for that, if you do yoga, if you're into any other practices, you may hear of pigeon pose. Pigeon pose where you're lying down to do something similar with your knee bent. That's another great way to target the gluteal muscles. Last 2 for this month is fuel window. Now, we are determined to try and fight back against our need to be eating all the time. For 200,000 years as a species, we've got up in the morning when the sun's come up. We haven't tucked into a bowl of cereal. We've gone about our daily activities, and we've found food as we've gone. Now, today we wake up and we fill ourselves full of high glucose content carbohydrates that are quickly absorbed into our body, sending us into this sort of glucose and then insulin spikes. It's really not the way we've evolved over 200,000 years. So what we encourage is this fuel window exercise. So think about it as 12 hours of fasting and 12 hours with which we eat as a starting point. So if you finish eating or consuming any calories, so anything other than water essentially, at 8 o'clock at night, then don't eat or drink anything other than water until 8 o'clock the next morning. That's a 12-hour fasting window. And so then you can eat in that 12-hour fueling window between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. If you want to extend that out, that's a great place to start. If you're an athlete doing a lot of exercise, if you're somebody who is really lean, then that's probably as far as you want to go. If you want to stretch it a bit further because you're carrying a little bit of extra padding, then you can push yourself out to a 10-14, so 14 hours fasting and then 10 hours with which you eat within, or you can push it out to a 16-8, and that's probably as far as most of us would want to go. So 16 hours fasting and then an 8-hour eating window. So what often happens in this case is that we usually drop either the evening meal or we drop breakfast. And I strongly encourage people to try dropping breakfast as a great way. And what we're trying to do here is when we store carbohydrates in our body, so we consume carbohydrates, they get diluted down in the gut, they get absorbed within the body, and they go to the liver, and the liver goes, right, let's fill up the liver full of glucose, send some off to the muscles, and any left over, let's store it as fat. Now, when we get up and we exercise first thing in the morning, we've had that fasting state overnight, and the glucose levels in our liver probably drop down a little bit. Probably not a great deal, but probably a little bit. And we start to exercise and we start to use glucose in our muscles, and then we start to utilize some of that glucose stored in our liver. And this is really a valuable exercise. And the more of that we can use, if we get it down low enough, we'll actually start to draw some of the glucose back out of the fat, essentially. That's a simple way to think about it. So the fat releases, or we pull upon some of the glucose or the energy within our fat. It's stored as a triglyceride, and we bring it into the liver again and we turn it into glucose, and then we use it within the body. So when we eat all the time, we keep the glucose levels really high within the liver. And the purpose of this intermittent fasting or time restricted feeding or a fuel window is to try to minimize or try to drop some of the glucose within the liver down. And it'd be great if we can start to target the fat cells, but that might take a little bit longer than a 16-8 to do that. But that's what we're trying to do. Give the body a break in the gut, and then also stimulate activity utilizing glucose within the liver. So give that a go. The sort of feedback that we hear from people around this is improved mental clarity, and that can be due to a number of reasons. It can be that you have more energy during the day. We think we're going to have less, but we actually often have more because we don't have the big glucose spikes after having a carbohydrate-rich breakfast in the morning. And often just that feeling of being lighter and less hungry during the day, which is, again, kind of counterintuitive to what we might think. Now, if you have any medical condition, if you are on medications that require you to be eating food at a particular time, if you're under guidance from a nutrition specialist or dietitian or GP doctor of any sort, then please consult with them before doing the Fuel Window Challenge, because it's really important that you look after any illness or disease state that you have first. So consult with them, ask for their advice first before engaging in any time-restricted feeding activity. Last thing we want to do, and it's a fantastic time of the year to be doing it, is what we call the Thank You Challenge. Now, this is kind of folds in on this gratitude practice. I want you to look around for people who you don't normally thank for doing something, and thank them. Thank them and explain why what they're doing adds value. I love it when I go to one of the central markets here, and it must be a difficult job for cleaners in this marketplace. There's a lot of rubbish around, and they go around and they clean up as much of that as they can, and it really makes the place look fantastic. But I don't think many people thank them. So I go out of my way to thank them and explain that it makes a huge difference to me and a huge difference to the market and to the difference to the state for tourists when they come to experience a beautifully clean market. So that's the sort of thing we're looking for. Find as many people as you can to thank and explain why what they do adds value to you and to others. Now, of course, we've got the internet. We can do that to hundreds, thousands of people sending out thank yous from your desk. So each and every day, look for somebody to say thank you to that you wouldn't normally thank, and send the love around. We're coming into the end of the year, which is a great opportunity to show gratitude to others. So that's it. That's round 10 of the World Team Global Challenge coming up on the 1st of December. Registrations are open now. Now, if you've not explored the World Team Global Challenge before, you're not a member of World Team, then log in. You'll be prompted to put your credit card details in. Now, we do that because we want you to be serious about this. You can cancel at any time. You've got 14 days of free trial from the 1st of the month. So we don't start the trial from the day that you put your credit card in, but from the 1st of the month. So you'll have 14 days of really exploring the Global Challenge in round 10 or in January. And so we want you to have a good experience. You can cancel at any time during that. You can cancel through your Well Team dashboard at any time after that as well. So encourage you to try that. If you've got any questions, flick them to me, flick them to Well Team, go to team@wellteam.me, and one of the team will answer the questions and get back to you. Get into the Well Team Global Challenge. Life is short. We want to be optimizing our mind and body so we can make the most of each and every day. Go well out there, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Go well.